Doesn't matter what kind of software, doesn't matter what kind of music you make, this is stuff you should be able to take away and immediately drop into your new tune, which I would love if you did, and then like hit me up about it and how cool it was. So let's go ahead and take a quick listen to the song we're going to be working with today. This is Can She by Greenlight Apollo, and let's just give the chorus a quick listen because it is a jam. Oh my gosh. Okay. I love the hook. It's so good. So first thing I want to talk about is playing with your ad-lib shape in order to make sure that it cuts through evenly in a dense arrangement. So as you can see, I have all the ad-libs here. And what I did was I actually duplicated them onto different tracks and was playing with different chains to see which part sat the best. So I want to show you how it sounded before, why I made some of the decisions, and then the kind of impact that it can make. So let's just start by saying, for example, if we kept these two vocals on the same chain here, we would have this. But instead, because I have it on a separate track, here's how it sounds, and I'll show you what I did. Can you catch the difference? It's okay if you can't. We're obviously going to talk about it. But it does sit a bit better. It's a bit less pinchy across the board. And you can see that difference is coming from the main EQ. So again, really the core to take away from this is the fact that with different ad-libs, and I feel like especially ad-libs, I'm sometimes changing the EQ for every single line or even within an ad-lib to make sure it's as perfect in sitting as possible. So this is the main EQ shape that I had for our ad-libs. And then here's what I did to this line specifically. So now you can hear I'm controlling this, which is really just so forward. I can't keep going. That portion is so forward. I knew I needed to tame that in a different way. You can see that there's a difference here in the air setting for the saturation that's going to make it sound different. So without that boost, just because of the vowel shape, again, surround and dark, bringing it up. So overall, you can take your different ad-libs and separately process them so when they come out in the song, they have a certain cohesion that probably wouldn't be possible given how dynamic ad-libs can be, different vowel shapes, different inflections. I'd much prefer pulling them all apart so I can make them really, really consistent and really cut through a dense pop mix like this. The next thing is I love to just elevate the typical delay throw, like an extra notch, and just do a little something different than maybe what would be expected. And I did a great example of it here. Let's take a quick listen. Right, so it's not just a straight echo. We have a little bit of processing on top of that, and it's super, super simple. That's really what I like about it. All I'm doing is I'm taking what would have been the normal vocals. Let's check that out. Which is a fine effect. There's nothing wrong with it, but I wanted to tickle the ear a little bit in a different way, and especially on a delay through, we have an opportunity to play with effects and processing, so I decided to bring down the formant, which kind of lengthened it, and now we get a great kind of sparkle of a moment that you aren't expecting in this verse. How can I recover all the time? Super simple, but something that you can put into your song to fill gaps in a certain way, whether it's formant shifting, filtering, or other effects, something that you hear the bounce back and it's not just a vocal, it's like a little something extra. I love it. Saucy, beautiful, luscious. We're moving on. And the third and final thing that I want to talk about today is the use of what I call the drone tone, which is like a bread and butter move that I like to go to when it comes to producing a song and adding some kind of a really cool vocal texture that kind of goes beyond the normal harmony. And I talk about it all the time and stuff that I do. Artists that have been in the studio with me, they know I make them do drone tones all the time. And it always kind of feels weird, but it's really, really dope. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of play you this bit, and then I'll show you what's going on beneath the hood. The time lost, the interest on the sunk cost, shed life to restart. So it sounds kind of just like a straight up harmony, but we have this extra layer going on here. So we just got a thing here, it's just singing one note, kind of like a drone would. And typically I'm picking something like the 2, 1, or the 5 of the scale, something kind of consonant and works with a lot of different things going on melodically. And what I love about it is the way then that this consistent note hangs out and interacts with other parts of moving harmony and melody. Because now we have all this movement against something consistent, and without it, and there's nothing wrong with how that sounds, but I just like the little bit of complexity and texture that comes with adding a drone tone along with that harmony. Without, with. And again, 1, 2, 5, try singing it through a whole section. And even if there are certain points of dissonance, it can be fun to leave them in there, because this is getting into vocal stuff really deep, but if you want me to, please let me know below. The beauty and richness of huge vocal stacks come from using dissonance and release and relaxation in all these different ways together into one experience. So I love to play with that as many times as I can, and especially in something with this like synth wave, mega synth, dance pop, anthem situation. We have a lot of that going on throughout the track. So I dare you to go put this into practice right now. Actually, no, keep watching my content. Binge it. Never leave. Stay on. All hail Mother Algorithm. And of course, make sure that you check out my music production course that is 100% pay what you want. And I dare you to pay $0 for it, because I want to put it in as many hands as possible. It is my gift to you for spending your time with me, and I would love for you to have it and use it to the absolute best of your ability. And that's the video. Remember, kindness wins, and you're just one song away.
Been looking for you all my life.